Hey everybody, Jim Perry from Reach here. Today I want to talk about the economics of time. You say, wait a minute, economics and time are two completely separate things. How do these two things relate? Let me tell you a story. My 11th or maybe 12th grade year, I forget, at Stewartville High School, I took a class in economics from Mr. Joyce. And we spent an entire semester learning about the definition of economics. I'd say, well, if you get a definition, you take an entire semester to get that? Well, I'm going to tell you what that definition is. I still remember it more than 30 years later, and that definition absolutely applies to time as well. Economics is the study of how people allocate scarce resources, which have alternative or opportunity costs, to satisfy wants and needs. And what that means is, if I have $20, that's scarce. I don't always have $20 to spend on anything that I want to. So allocating means spending scarce resources at $20, which have alternative or opportunity costs. So if I choose to spend $20 on item A, it means that I can't spend that same $20 on item B. It means that I'm foregoing the chance to purchase item B because I've chosen to spend it on item A. That opportunity cost also, though, means I could have chosen to not purchase item A, and I could have saved that money in case a better option comes along later on. And that would be to satisfy my wants or needs. So I could spend it on something that I want, or I can spend it on something that I need. We took an entire semester to learn that definition and all the parts of it. Economics is the study of how people allocate scarce resources, which have alternative or opportunity costs, to satisfy wants and needs. This does apply to time. Time is finite. It means that we don't have an unending amount of it. Time will end for every one of us. It ends each day. We only have a certain number of hours in a day, or you could look at it from an entire lifetime. Sometimes we only have a certain amount of time with those that we love, or deadlines that we have to meet for school or for work. We need to choose how we spend that time. Okay? I'm going to kind of go from back to forward. We choose to spend our time on stuff that we want to do or stuff that we need to do. But we have a limited amount of that. So if I choose to spend my time going for a walk, it means that I can't spend my time cooking supper. Okay? I may choose that walk because I want to do it. I may not want to cook supper, but I have to make that decision. Now, if I don't like to walk, but I really like to cook, I might choose cooking instead of going for a walk. That alternative cost means spending my time on one thing means that I can't do a separate. We can't multitask most of the time in those ways. Now, we really can't save our time, so that like saving money to spend it on something else really doesn't happen with time, but we can use our time to prepare for the future. So instead of saving money for the future, we can use our time to prepare for the future. If you remember, in the 3rd and 4th grade, you needed to learn your multiplication tables. And a lot of students say, I'm not going to do this. It takes too much time. It takes too much time. It takes too much of my time at home, too much of my time at school. And they see it as a waste of their time because they would rather use that time for something else. Little do they know at that point that by simply learning those multiplication tables, you're going to save yourself probably hundreds of hours of homework time through middle school, high school, and on to college if you choose to go on to that. There is an expense for not learning those multiplication tables. The time that we choose to spend doing the things that we want can have positive rewards for us in the future. The time spending doing the things that we need to do can also have positive rewards in the future. So if we think about the movie A Christmas Carol, and Scrooge spending all of his time saving money and preparing and doing business, and he misses out on having a family and learning how to love another human being. He didn't have balance. So when we talk about doing the things that we want and the things that we need, there needs to be some kind of a balance. We need to meet the requirements and the deadlines, and all of the things that we have to do. But we also need to have balance in that and spend time doing the things that we want to do as well, for our overall well-being. My challenge for you today, finding balance. How do you balance doing what you need to do with what you want to do, and considering that definition of economics and applying it to time in your life? Again, economics is a study of how people allocate scarce resources which have alternative or opportunity costs to satisfy wants and needs. When we apply that to time, how do you choose to spend your time when you could be using it somewhere else instead, when you could be using it to prepare? How do you choose to spend your time doing the things that you want to and that you need to? And how do you find that balance in your life? Something to consider today. I wish you well. Talk to you soon.